father of four, AMMAR HAGZAN, is preparing for Ramadan with his pick of sweets and dates. But most of the food he's buying is approaching or past its sell-by date. He works for Yemen's UN-recognized government, but like most employees, he hasn't been paid for almost 2 years. Cash-strapped, he says he has little choice but to buy low-quality food.
In the past, we used to buy a lot of things for Ramadan, but now we can't afford it, and we look for the cheapest alternatives because we don't have enough money.
Before the war, the capital Sanaa's Bab al-Sabah market would be bustling. But in the past 4 years, Yemen's currency has sunk as the cost of food has soared. That's become a major driver behind the food crisis here.
The purchasing power of the people has become weaker since the start of the war because of the economic blockade and the salaries that are not paid.
Most of Yemen's food imports, including wheat, comes from the port city of Hodeidah. But they have largely stopped during the past year while there's fighting between Houthi rebels and the Saudi-UAE coalition. With a shaky ceasefire in place, the UN Food Agency has gained access to a mill that has been closed since September.
According to the plan, in 10 days we will begin grinding the wheat and distributing it to the provinces and the people in need.
Although about 30% of the grain has been infested, the UN says this mill will hold enough to feed hundreds of thousands of people, and it's needed. The war in Yemen has caused the world's largest humanitarian crisis. The country is on the brink of famine. The UN says about $4 billion is needed for urgent humanitarian aid. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have pledged money, but are paying it in installments and continue to bomb Houthi-controlled areas. Meanwhile, Muslims across the world are fasting from dawn until dusk for Ramadan. But too many in Yemen still go hungry at night. Burdon-Manley, Al Jazeera.